4,000 Essential English Words, Part 2, Units 6 to 10.
Apart. Apart.
When people or things are apart, they are not next to each other.
They moved apart and then came back together.
Attribute. Attribute.
An attribute is a characteristic of a person or thing.
He isn't very clever, but he does have some other positive attributes.
Bilingual. Bilingual.
A bilingual person can speak 2 languages.
Since you already know English, after learning French, you'll be bilingual.
Completely. Completely.
Something completely different is very, very different from before.
I was completely wrong.
Dash. Dash.
To dash means to run or move quickly.
Helen dashed up the stairs so she wouldn't be late for her appointment.
Disgust. Disgust.
Disgust is a feeling of distaste and anger caused by something rude or unpleasant.
He felt disgust toward his date because she had such terrible eating habits.
Fashionable. Fashionable.
Something fashionable is what people like to wear and do now.
It is very fashionable to wear a hat.
Foreign. Foreign.
Something foreign is something we are not used to.
He has traveled widely in foreign countries.
Gulf. Gulf.
A gulf is a gap between people who do not understand each other.
There has been a gulf between James and Tony since their parents died.
Mirror. Mirror.
A mirror is usually made of glass, and you can see yourself in it.
He used the mirror to shine light in their eyes.
Natural. Natural.
Things that are natural or not made by people.
We need to take care of the natural world.
Nowadays. Nowadays.
Nowadays means at the present time.
Nowadays, not so many people smoke.
Participant. Participant.
A participant is someone who joins in a social event or competition.
There were thousands of participants in this year's marathon.
Ritual. Ritual.
A ritual is a formal custom that people do regularly.
Ken was very interested to learn about the religious rituals of the natives.
Spoken. Spoken.
Spoken language is what we say.
We cannot take back what has been spoken.
Sport. Sport.
Sport involves games like running, jumping, football, and tennis.
She loves watching sport on TV.
Surprised. Surprised.
You are surprised when something unexpected happens.
He didn't appear at all surprised when he read the article.
Tense. Tense.
When you are tense, you are not comfortable and feel unhappy.
I felt very tense waiting to hear the result of the vote.
Totally. Totally.
If you totally agree, you agree with everything just said.
I am totally against that.
Vague. Vague.
If something is vague, it is not clear and gives very few details.
I asked him about his mother's health, but he was very vague about it.
The twins. Katie and Alice were twins. They were so alike that few people could tell them apart. They were almost like seeing one person looking in a mirror. They even spoke in the same way as each other. They were best friends. But the twins' attributes were not all exactly the same. Alice preferred sports and was a star athlete in soccer. Katie preferred foreign languages and was bilingual in French. Katie decided to be a participant at a summer camp in France. Alice wasn't interested in the French language, so she didn't go. But she was angry that Katie wanted to spend the summer away from her. 2 months later, Katie returned. Alice dashed to the airport to greet her sister. But when Alice saw Katie, she was surprised. Katie now spoke French, and she looked completely different. She was wearing fashionable clothes, and she looked taller. Alice felt very messy next to her. She was just wearing an old t-shirt, and her hair looked untidy. When Alice asked Katie about France, Katie was vague and didn't say much. It made Alice feel tense and filled her with disgust, because in the past they'd always told each other everything. Now there was a huge gulf between them. Over the weeks, the sisters spoke even less. 2 months later, it was the twins' birthday. All their lives, they'd had a ritual. Before their birthday, they'd talk all night long. That night, Alice came into Katie's bedroom. "I'm sorry I haven't spoken to you much lately," Katie said. "I understand. You have new friends now," said Alice angrily. Katie said, "My French friends don't write much nowadays. For a while, I thought they were more exciting than my friends at home, but I was wrong. You're my sister, and you'll always be my best friend." Alice said, "I'm sorry too. I wanted our relationship to stay the same forever, but it's totally natural for twins to have different interests. We can still be best friends without being together all the time."
Allow. Allow.
To allow something to happen means to let it happen.
Having a ticket will allow you to enter the show.
Announce. Announce.
To announce something is to make it known.
He announced to everyone his new idea for the company.
Beside. Beside.
Someone or something beside you is next to you.
The two brothers stood beside each other.
Challenge. Challenge.
A challenge is something difficult to complete.
It was a challenge to climb to the top of the mountain.
Claim. Claim.
To claim means to say that something is true.
He claimed to know why the country's laws were weak.
Condition. Condition.
The condition of someone or something is the state that they are in.
The patient's condition was very good.
Contribute. Contribute.
To contribute to something means to do something to make it successful.
We decided to contribute money to the new hospital.
Difference. Difference.
A difference is a way that something is not like other things.
The biggest difference between the birds is the color of their feathers.
Divide. Divide.
To divide something is to split it into smaller parts.
We divided the pizza.
Expert. Expert.
An expert is someone who is very good at doing something.
The wizard was an expert at magic.
Famous. Famous.
A famous person or thing is well known.
The Eiffel Tower in Paris is very famous.
Force. Force.
Force is a person's strength or power.
He used all his force to try and open the door.
Harm. Harm.
To cause harm is to hurt someone or damage something.
A hot iron can cause great harm if you are not careful.
lay, lay,
To lay means to put or place in a horizontal or flat position.
Don't lay your socks on the floor.
peace, peace,
Peace is a time without war.
A white dove is a symbol of peace.
prince, prince,
A prince is the son of a king.
The prince and the princess were married.
protect, protect,
To protect someone is to stop them from getting hurt.
Firemen protect us from fires.
sense, sense,
To sense something is to know about it without being told.
I could sense that he was watching me.
sudden, sudden,
When something is sudden, it happens very quickly.
He felt a sudden pain in his chest.
therefore, therefore,
Therefore means for this reason.
He is fat. Therefore, he should go on a diet. The Best Prince. King Minos was very sick. His condition was getting worse. He had 3 sons. He loved them all. He had to announce who would become king. 2 of the princes stood waiting outside the king's room. Theseus was the oldest and strongest. He thought his father would make him king. Peleus, the second son, thought differently. He was an expert in fighting. He thought the king would choose him. When I'm king, Theseus told Peleus, I'll let you contribute to protect our country. You can lead the army. Peleus became angry. Father knows I'm famous for my fighting skills. He'll make me king. You? Theseus said. He won't choose you. The kingdom is mine, Peleus claimed. Father will give it to me, or I'll use force to take it. Theseus made a sudden move to take out his sword. Then Peleus did the same. Beating me will be a challenge, Theseus said. Fight me now. The winner gets the kingdom. Peleus agreed. King Minos could hear his sons fighting. The youngest son, Jason, stood beside him. He sensed his father's sadness. The king laid his hand on Jason's arm. Your brothers fight too much, the king told him. I must protect my kingdom from all harm. They'll divide it between them. The people won't know what to do. There'll be war. I can't allow either of them to be king. Therefore, I'm making you king. Your kindness has always made you special. It's the difference between you and your brothers. You can bring peace. They can't. Then the king died. Theseus and Peleus heard that their youngest brother was king. They were surprised. They realized that their fighting was wrong. It had kept them from saying goodbye to their father. They agreed to have Jason as their king. He was the best choice.
accept, accept,
To accept something that is offered is to take it.
I accepted the girl's very nice gift.
arrange, arrange,
To arrange things is to put them in the right place.
Please arrange the words in order from A to Z.
attend, attend,
To attend something is to go to it.
My sister and I attend the same school.
chase, chase,
You chase people when you run after them and try to catch them.
I was chased by a dog.
Contrast. Contrast.
A contrast is a sharp difference between two things.
The contrast between my parents is very noticeable.
Encourage. Encourage.
To encourage people is to make them want to do something.
My football coach will encourage us when we are losing.
Familiar. Familiar.
People or things familiar to you are those you know well.
The two friends were very familiar with each other.
Grab. Grab.
To grab is to take a hold of someone or something suddenly.
I grabbed a pear from the tree.
Hang. Hang.
To hang something is to keep it above the ground.
I drew a picture of my family, and my mother hung it on the wall.
Huge. Huge.
If something is huge, it is very big.
At work, my father drives a huge truck.
Necessary. Necessary.
If something is necessary, you must do it.
A passport is necessary if you travel to other countries.
Pattern. Pattern.
A pattern is a way in which something is done or organized.
My pattern of brushing my teeth is the same as most people's.
Propose. Propose.
To propose something is to say that it should be done.
My grandmother proposed that we have our picture taken with Santa.
Purpose. Purpose.
A purpose is the reason that you do something.
The purpose of exercising is to get into shape.
Release. Release.
To release something is to stop holding it.
She released the bird from her hands.
Require. Require.
To require something is to say that it is necessary.
We require teachers to have a university degree.
Satisfied. Satisfied.
You are satisfied when you have what you wanted.
I am very satisfied with your work.
Single. Single.
If something is single, then there is only one.
I have a single key in my hand.
Tear. Tear.
To tear something means to pull it apart.
It is easy to tear paper.
Theory. Theory.
A theory is an idea about how something works.
We talked about Einstein's theory of relativity in class.
How the sun and the moon were made. Do you ever wonder where the moon and the sun came from? The Inuit people of Alaska have a theory. They tell a story about a beautiful girl. She was very nice. In contrast, her brother was a mean little boy. One day, he proposed something. "We should go to a party," he said. The girl accepted. First, it was necessary for her to get ready. She arranged her hair and put on nice clothes. This required a lot of time. But the girl worked hard, and soon she was satisfied. She looked perfect. They attended the party together. The girl was having fun. Later, she walked into the bathroom. Suddenly, the lights were turned off. Someone grabbed her hair and tore her clothes. She ran out of the bathroom. She wanted to know who did this to her. Then she had an idea. She fixed her hair again. This time, it was even more beautiful. She even arranged beautiful jewels in it. She wanted to encourage the person to grab it again. She put black dirt in her hair. The purpose of this was to catch the person. She went to the bathroom again, and it was the same pattern. The lights went off, and someone grabbed her hair. When he released it, His hand was black. The girl returned to the party. She knew there was only a single person with a black hand. When she saw that person, he was very familiar. It was her brother. He ran into the woods. The girl ran after him. They both carried fire so they could see in the dark. The smoke went into the air. As they ran, they grew. They became huge. Then they went into space. When the girl's fire went out, she hung in the sky. She became the moon, and her brother became the sun. They chase each other forever.
Animal. Animal.
An animal is a living thing that can move.
My favorite animal is the panda.
Bus. Bus.
A bus is a large vehicle that people travel on.
My father takes the bus to work.
Cat. Cat.
A cat is a small animal related to lions and tigers that is kept as a pet.
This cat is playing with a ball.
Command. Command.
A command is an order given to a person or animal to do something.
Joe gave the students a command to stand up.
Depend. Depend.
To depend on something is to need it for support or help.
My grandfather depends on a cane when he walks.
Dog. Dog.
A dog is an animal with 4 legs and a tail that is kept as a pet or trained to work.
This woman's best friend is her dog.
Door. Door.
A door is an object that swings or slides open and shut.
Can you close the door, please?
Friend. Friend.
A friend is someone a person knows and likes spending time with.
Brian's friend is very sad.
Hear. Hear.
To hear is to be aware of sound through your ears.
Michelle cannot hear what you are saying.
Help. Help.
To help is to do something that makes something easier for someone else.
Jane can help Nathan climb up the rock.
Horse. Horse.
A horse is a big, strong animal that people ride and use for pulling heavy things.
I went to a farm and saw a horse.
Hospital. Hospital.
A hospital is where sick or hurt people receive care or treatment.
The doctor talks to a patient at the hospital.
Leg. Leg.
A leg is a body part used for standing and walking.
She hurt her leg.
Medical. Medical.
Medical means related to the treatment of an injury or disease.
Tyler is a medical student studying to become a doctor.
Open. Open.
To open is to move something so that an opening is not covered.
Amy likes to open the window to let fresh air in.
Pull. Pull.
To pull is to hold on to something to move it toward you.
The children pull the rope.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
A rabbit is a small animal with long ears that lives in a hole in the ground.
Look at the rabbit in the park.
School. School.
A school is a place where children go to learn.
The students study at school.
See. See.
To see is to use your eyes to look at something or someone.
Stephen does not want to see the scary picture.
Service. Service.
Service is the act of helping or serving someone.
This coffee shop has excellent service. Service animals. Have you ever seen a blind person on the bus with a dog? This dog is most likely a service animal. A service animal is an animal that is trained to do things for people who cannot do them alone because of a disability. Dogs are most usually used as service animals because they are intelligent animals. They also have a good sense of smell and can sense dangerous situations. In addition, dogs are easy to train and are loyal to their owners. When they are close to their owners, dogs will do anything to keep them safe. Service dogs are sometimes called guide dogs or hearing dogs. These dogs can help people who cannot see or hear. They are trained to open and close a door, push a button, and listen to a command. These dogs can also help people who have a hurt leg and need to use a wheelchair to get around. Service dogs are strong and can even pull wheelchairs. If these people ever need medical attention, the dogs are trained to bark and get help. Dogs can also be used as therapy dogs. Therapy dogs may visit a school or hospital to help people who are feeling lonely or anxious. Their bad feelings can create health problems. Therapy dogs can provide kindness and love to improve a person's mood, which can then improve that person's health. Although dogs are the most common service animals, there are other animals that can be trained to be service animals as well. You might see a cat, a rabbit, or a horse that is used as a service animal. These animals can keep a person company and become a good friend. Many people depend on service animals for help. Service animals can do jobs that people cannot do alone. And they can help improve the health of people by making them feel happy.
Benefit. Benefit.
A benefit is a good thing.
Being able to fly is a benefit to birds.
Certain. Certain.
If you are certain about something, you know it is true.
I am certain that zebras have stripes.
Chance. Chance.
A chance is an opportunity to do something.
I had a chance to see the Colosseum in Rome last summer.
Effect. Effect.
An effect is a change made by something else.
The medicine had a good effect on the boy.
Essential. Essential.
If something is essential, it is very important and necessary.
It is essential to have oxygen when you scuba dive.
Far. Far.
If something is far, it is not close.
It's far from the East Coast to the West Coast of America.
Focus. Focus.
To focus on something is to think about it and pay attention to it.
My mom always helps me to focus on my schoolwork.
Function. Function.
The function of something is what it does.
The function of a flashlight is to help you see in the dark.
Grass. Grass.
Grass is the green leaves that covered the ground.
The grass looked so soft and green.
Guard. Guard.
To guard something is to take care of it.
The police officer will guard us from any harm.
Image. Image.
The image of something is a picture of it.
The image of her eye was very clear.
Immediate. Immediate.
If something is immediate, it happens quickly.
An immediate response came from the pizza place.
Primary. Primary.
If something is primary, it is the most important thing.
His primary thoughts are about money.
Proud. Proud.
People who feel proud are happy about what they have done.
She is proud of the picture she drew of her house.
Remain. Remain.
To remain somewhere is to stay there.
My sister had to remain home since she was sick.
Rest. Rest.
To rest is to stop being active while the body gets back its strength.
I rested on the couch after work.
Separate. Separate.
If two things are separate, they are not together.
New York and Los Angeles are in two separate parts of America.
Site. Site.
A site is a place.
We found the perfect site for our picnic.
Tail. Tail.
A tail is a part of an animal's body that sticks out from its rear or back.
Our dog wags its tail when it's happy.
Trouble. Trouble.
Trouble is a problem or a difficulty.
I have trouble working with my boss.
The first peacock. Argos lived in ancient Greece. He was a husband and a proud father. He worked hard and did well at his job. But one thing about him wasn't normal. He was born with 100 eyes. Having many eyes was usually a benefit to him. He had a chance to see many things. Also, since he had so many eyes, he was very good at guarding things. While sleeping, he only rested a few eyes at a time. The others stayed open. He worked for Hera, a great goddess. His primary function was to guard a special cow. The cow was very important to Hera. She loved it. The most essential part of his job was to keep the cow alone. It had to be kept separate from all the other cows and far away from people. This was an easy job for Argos. The cow just ate grass all day. But the god Zeus wanted the cow. He wanted to take it away from Hera. He had a plan. He found a great music player. He asked the man to play a beautiful song for Argos. Zeus was certain Argos would go to sleep. The song had an immediate effect. Argos couldn't focus on his job. He fell asleep. Zeus saw this, and he took the cow. Hera was very angry with Argos. She turned him into a peacock. She put his many eyes on his tail. Argos was very sad. Zeus saw how much trouble he had given Argos. He made another plan. He turned Argos into a group of stars. He wanted Argos to remain in the sky forever. Even today, Argos's image remains there, above the site where all his problems began. We can still see him in the night sky.